evening, everybody. Joe Tessitore and Teddy Atlas welcoming you to the MGM Grand here on the Vegas Strip in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada for a much-anticipated main event. 12 rounds, bantamweight action. This should be a good one tonight. Both fighters say they are primed, coming off a very intense and passionate training camp. Bad Intentions is making his way to the ring right now, and he does so with an attitude that belies his in-ring intensity. The Natural's coming down to the ring right now, not seeing much personality out of this ring walk.
Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, Bad Intentions. His adversary, fighting out of the red corner, The Natural.
All right, fellas, let's have a good, clean fight. Touch him up and let's go.
Opening round here. See if they go the full 12 tonight. Teddy, early on in a fight, I will often turn to you and ask you what's the one thing we should look for out of this fighter. But in his case, I think it's pretty obvious, right? It's the jab.
Yeah, more importantly, it's obvious to him. He understands that. You know, he understands he's not real strong in other areas. So he understands he has to be really good in this area.
Nice work doubling up that jab. Dismisses his opponent's headshot. And now he brings the left hand upstairs. Nice strike after catching one by the Natural. Comes right back at him with a left hand. Not hitting his mark there, going upstairs. Tucks those elbows in, blocks the body shot.
Doing great.
Good double jab by Bad Intentions. Phenomenal pace being set here. They are burning it up early on.
Let's find out who's in better shape. We're gonna see.
Side to side.
Here's a moment here as you see the step back counter punch where you realize this is the sweet science, not just some raw savagery swinging out there.
Look at the little subtleties here, Joe. What he does is he forces him into a position to stop the punch. And then when he stops, steps back, makes a miss, and comes right back.
Right to the head with that right.
Range.
And now he's targeting upstairs. Just not there. Straight right hand off the mark. Took a shot. Now he gives a left.
Go!
10 seconds remain. Bad Intentions is stunned, and he is hurt. He is swinging for the fences, trying to get his... Oh, that's gotta hurt. Oh, this is gonna be close. He may be able to survive the round, but he has gone down now.
One, two, three, four, five.
He's trying to get momentum back. He gave it away in that last round when he was knocked down.
Well, he got a little pit stop in the corner, so now he's got to be like that race car driver coming out of the pits. You know, you come out of there cautiously. Don't get hit with anything as you're coming out. You know, don't cross those lanes too quick, and then get back into the flow.
No, he missed that right. Showing you some defense there with the block. Accurate shot, straight right hand comes in. Very accurate two-punch combo by Bad Intentions.
Nice one.
Oh, he is stunned. He could go down. Boy, he is. Oh, a big shot comes home for him. And he goes down for a second time. Does he have enough this time to rise up and continue on?
1, 2, 3.
I give him a lot of credit for even getting up from that knockdown, but he still has to impress and move forward here.
Yeah, I applaud him. I give him credit, but I also recognize that he's in good shape. That's one of the reasons he got up.
They're sending more than one at him now, the combo to the head. Bad Intentions, his right hand scores well. Wow, stunned moments ago, but now somehow, some way, surviving well.
You know, Joe, I had a fighter once that got dropped in a round, and he wasn't doing real good up to that point. After that, he fought better. He boxed better, he fought better defensively, and when the fight was over, I said, good job. You know, he whispered to me. He whispered, did I get knocked out? Yeah, he did. Huh. He didn't know what had happened. I realized then he was fighting on instinct the rest of the night.
Amazing story. Both guys have a lot to be proud of with their performances in this round so far, and they still want to give more. What an encore in this final minute.
If you were a kid, you would feel that you're on one of those rides at Space Mountain. I mean, it's just extraordinary.
Good block by Bad Intentions. As basic as can be, but it works. A jab followed by the straight. The Natural's right hand scores well that time.
Double up your punches.
Just 10 seconds to go here in the second round. And he returns on that exchange. I like that step back right there. Just enough to then lay in the counterpunch.
Well, that's what happens when you have that kind of experience. You're calm enough to know that range. Know where the beginning of the punch and the end of the punch is.
Bad Intentions is trying to steady himself in this round after being knocked down in the previous round. Teddy, how much can really happen in those 60 seconds? How much of a benefit is it to a damaged fighter?
Well, a lot has to happen. First of all, physically, you have to revigorate the guy. You know, maybe massage the legs a little bit. Most importantly, get some ice on the back of his neck. You know, get that blood flow going a little bit. Make sure that you revive him a little bit. Get him back to feeling like he's ready to go out there.
Little head hunting with the left. Another right hand comes in.
Don't need to be on the inside. Left and right, left and right.
You need to block more.
Punch him.
Parries the punch, puts one in there. Reaching the halfway mark of this round. Thought he had his target, but way off to the side with the uppercut. Good return fire that time. Bad intentions as fatigue is starting to play a major factor in this fight now. He is having trouble landing any of these punches.
Yeah, and it's not because his opponent all of a sudden is a great defensive whiz. You know, he's not Claude Rains. He didn't all of a sudden become the invisible man. It's just that he's not landing because he's throwing him from too far away, as you said, very tired.
That's a good block by Bad Intentions. That's great stuff. He fires one right back after taking one. Gotta love the work by the natural. He's committed to that left hand, and it's working out.
Back to the body.
Keeps his hands up defensively, protecting the head. Some guys just get out of the gate well, and such is the case tonight. Teddy's scorecard has him up 3 rounds to zip. Good block by Bad Intentions. Bad Intentions, his punch didn't come close. He's all over the place. I mean, he's missing punches. Yeah, he's throwing punches, but he's missing just about everything he throws.
Well, we look up top, you know, we look at the punches going array. They're going left, they're going right, they're going all over the place. But look downstairs. His feet are not set. He's falling all over the place. And guess what? The punches follow where his feet are.
The Natural's almost looking foolish that time he missed so badly.
Watch that! Uppercut!
Not precise at all by Bad Intentions.
Still not moving enough. Move, move! Keep working the jabs.
You're still not moving enough. Move, move.
90 seconds to go in round number 4.
Range!
The Natural's doing well here with that 2-punch combination. Able to get away from that headshot with the block. The Natural's in a good rhythm defensively here. Teddy, what is that, a credit to his ability to anticipate?
You know, also, it's the teaching. Let's give the trainers credit. Of course, let's give his background of the amateurs credit, but he learned how to get away from punches. This is technique that was taught to him.
Comes right back to some offense of his own. See him holding on.
In and out! In and out!
Fourth round now with its last 10 seconds.
Guard up!
The Natural's well off the mark that time. Fourth, quite an effort.
Well, they both have high engines. They have motors that never stop going.
Keep working the body.
Nice block that time. It was intended to the head. Oh, you see him with the left of the head there? Do you see any way in which he can take his opponent's aggression and turn it against him?
Yeah, the perfect way. I mean, boxing 101, counterpunching. You got a guy coming at you, no better way than to change his mind. Make him miss, make him pay.
And now they're opening up. Both right hands land. There's the combo to the body. Halfway into round number 5 here.
Pace yourself. Shake it off.
The natural swinging and missing like he's at bat right there. That punch was nowhere near his opponent. Bad intentions, his knowledge of the game is showing through. 3 ways to defend, one of them is to block. He did it there well. Fires right back at him. The natural's been able to avoid having any of his opponent's headshots landing flush.
And what his opponent has to do, Joe, is make an adjustment. Well, we used to tell the fighters, when a guy's elusive like this fighter is right now, you have to shorten your punches up. Shorten them up a little bit, have less space to travel. They have a better chance of getting to that elusive target.
Unable to make an impact there by bad intentions. Ringside, and Teddy, I think a completely different look than when we saw before, because he's losing this fight on the scorecards, but he did win that last round.
He did it to start. You know, you have to start somewhere to build. Now he has to start putting them together. But the attitude has to be the same. You can't start looking down the road in boxing and saying anything in life, actually, and start saying, gee, you know, I got to get 6 rounds. I got to get 4 rounds. No, get 1 at a time. That's the only way you can do it. That's how he's trying to do it.
He scored well after being hit himself. Move! Blocks that belt line well. The Natural's defense has been just unbelievable tonight. I mean, Teddy, he takes such appreciation seeing a guy putting forth his craft like this.
Yeah, you do, and that's why he's able to have such a long career. That's why he's able to be, you know, so consistently good, because he doesn't take a lot. He doesn't get worn out. He's fresh.
He took a shot, but he gives one of his own. A left hand scores. And that's what fighters do. Pulls the trigger right away after taking one. He just missed that shot up top. just looks gassed. He looks tired. Now, Teddy, what can he do to overcome that when this fight starts back up?
Well, first of all, this is where you search into those corners that you're not forced to search. Kind of like when you were a kid and your mother told you to clean your room and go into those little nooks and crannies where you never knew there was dirt. Now you got to start looking into nooks and crannies inside yourself. Places you didn't know were there before. You better find them. You better find them quick.
Keep moving. Keep moving.
Accurate uppercut after taking a shot of his own.
Oh, you got this one. Uppercut. Punch and move. Punch and move.
The Natural's just punching air that time. His opponent was able to get out of the way. Distance, such a key factor always, Teddy, when it comes to defense. With his good foot movement, he's been keeping that distance. His opponent, how does he close that gap properly?
Well, first of all, he's got to use his jab to close it because he's getting picked off coming in. He's getting pot-shotted. So he's got to have something coming at his opponent that keeps him distracted. Use that jab. Now, don't use it conventionally, Joe. You're jabbing at the head, you're not finding nothing. You're just finding space. So jab a little lower. Drop the sights a little bit. Jab at his chest. Just so you touch something, and then you can work your way in. You can start to find them a little.
Pace yourself. Work the body, kid. Body shot. Work them up.
Now hugging on the inside.
Good.
A stinging right hand by the Natural.
Focus, focus.
Took a shot, now he gives a left. Well, he just went from hunted to hunter.
And now he's going to track him down.
Bad intentions is gassed. You just look at him. His opponent can see it clear as day. He doesn't have much left.
No, he's got to go back to his childhood. What I mean by that is you got to play a game of improv. You know, charades, where you make believe that you're something. He's got to make believe that he's a piece of Velcro. And he's got to jump all over his opponent and hold on to him until the referee forces him to let go.
Teddy's scorecard has him trailing by a significant margin here as we start round number 8. Is there any hope that he can get back into this fight? He doesn't look like a guy that can.
There's always hope, Joe. I mean, that's what this business is about. It's about finding ways, about overcoming. Right now, he needs to ask himself the question, am I in or am I out?
Comes right back with a shot of his own. Bad intentions. His opponent's probably looking at him right now saying, wow, you're not changing anything up. You know, he got to him moments ago. Now he's got the same style that he's looking at again.
Yeah, but he got to him moments ago. Got to him one time. I think right now it's too early to all of a sudden throw everything out the window. But look for an adjustment if things don't change. If he can't get away from those punches, if he keeps having problems, he gets stunned again, then you might have to look for a change. You might have to make a change if you're going to survive.
Takes one to give one. He comes back with a right hand.
Circle him. Move, move.
Good defense upstairs to stay away from that offensive assault. 1-2 jabs.
Stay on the outside.
He's throwing a lot of punches here. Now his opponent is showing very, very good movement. What adjustments can he make to deal with that movement?
Well, Joe, when you're fighting a guy who's smart, who's hard to hit, first of all, you got to shorten those punches up. If they're wide, they have no chance at all. And you got to go to the one place that's not moving. Guess where that is? Downstairs.
now just wasting away some time with that clinch. Oh, he just... Bad Intentions is snapped by a right hand. Somehow he's avoiding, and banging away he goes. That was a big shot that floored him, and it's a big shot that may end him right here.
That looked like the great pitcher, Great Maddox, his sinker ball. Boy, it went down quick.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
What do you think, Teddy? Do you think he can survive things here? He's been down multiple times now and keeps getting up.
History tells us that fighters, when they're pushed to the brink, they find a way sometimes, but not always.
Relax, relax. Come on.
Boy, right on target with that double jab. As we start a new round, Teddy, this seems basically hopeless for him. He's been knocked down numerous times tonight.
Well, you never know. I mean, you go back to the 1980 Olympics, and of course you have that great call, "Do you believe in miracles?" But only thing, nobody was punching that hockey team in the face.
Good clean shot, returning fire. Well done by the natural. Bad Intentions is showing us that he is sticking with the game plan. But keep in mind, that game plan... The Naturals! Hurt back. Did you see that? What a turn of events. What a turnaround. He scores his own knockdown after being knocked down earlier.
And that's where scoring a knockdown hurts you sometimes, because now you think you're just going to walk in and get it again. Well, he walked in, he did get it. He got it.
The fight is over. Bad Intentions, his opponent is floored. A knockout victory. Boy, was that impressive.
By way of knockout.